Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great honor to have a chance to make a presentation about leveraging smart technologies for APIC women entrepreneurs. My name is MyongheeKim. I'm the director of Asia Pacific Women's Information Network Center of Seungmyeong Women's University in Korea. The contents of today's presentation is current status of women and 3 disruptive technologies: mobile internet, IoT and 3D printer, and support system for APIC women entrepreneurs. Let me start my presentation with a brief description of the current status of women. Women play a very important role in family, community, and society, but compared with men, they are still marginalized, invisible, and unheard. So I can say that there are still some persistent problems of gender inequality. But the problems are getting more serious because of the gender-digital divide in the current digital age. That is, lower numbers of women access and use ICTs. For example, even in the States, boys are allowed to use computers at home longer than girls. In middle and low-income countries, 300 million fewer women have mobile phones than men. Globally, 200 million fewer women are online. This is a new form of gender inequality, and the consequences, the negative consequences of this type of gender inequality are more serious because of the limited number of opportunities and benefits offered by ICTs. I would say that women's empowerment is a smart strategy for national development. According to an Intel report, doubling the number of women online in developing countries tends to lead to an increase in annual GDP by $13 billion to $18 billion. Another report from Intel that is based on interviews with 2,200 women in developing countries about what the internet can bring. 30% of women respondents answered income generation, 80% answered improvement in education, 85% greater freedom. Now, indeed, women are really important growth engines of changing society. There's a new term, womenomics, which highlights the increasing important role of women in today's economy. Women have greater purchasing power than before, or frequently than men, as Undersecretary Nora Teradu mentioned. Women are becoming more important consumers. The companies have to consider women's needs, preferences, and taste more seriously. At the same time, women are expected to play a more important role as producers and entrepreneurs. Actually, this term, womenomics, was coined by an analyst working for McKinsey Japanese branch. She analyzed the reasons for the Japanese economic depression, and she reported one of the major reasons was women's high inactivity rate as labor force. So she recommended that to make a national economic improvement, women should actively participate in economy as labor force. For women's entrepreneurship, what women has uniquely could be really important key assets. In terms of content, creativity, and imagination. Let me share one excellent example which happened in Korea. In Korea, usually cleaning happens in 2 steps. First, cleaning with a vacuum cleaner or a broom. Second, cleaning with a wet cloth. But to make a cleaning with a wet cloth, we have to kneel down on the floor and stretch our arms and bend our bodies. It's very tiring, labor intensive. But then one day, a housewife invented a steam cleaner and put it on the market. It was very sensational. You can see the picture of the steam cleaner she invented and put on the market. It was really wonderful. We don't need to bend down our bodies. We don't need to kneel down on the floor. It was very effective, and it was very wonderful. But anyway, the point that I want to highlight at this moment is that she could develop this wonderful machine based on her own experiences as a housewife. So anyway, women have wonderful experiences as housewives, and that they can use their own creativity and imagination and develop some items or commercialize them using the smart technologies. How is it possible? First of all, ICTs, and second, as an advanced form of ICT, smart technology. Traditionally, women take charge of family responsibilities, such as child caring and household chores. That's why they should be strictly bound to home earlier. But nowadays, thanks to the ICTs, they can get out of their house. They can combine their family responsibilities with work, and they are more flexible in terms of time, space, and physical mobility. Nowadays, thanks to better smart technology, women are more flexible, and women are in a better position to serve and grow into entrepreneurs. Smart technology is innovative ICT forms. It's a consequence of combinations between science and technology and ICT. And we can find there are many types of smart devices like smartphones and tablets. McKinsey Global Institute recently offered a list of 12 potentially economically disruptive technologies. Here I highlighted the word disruptive because these technologies have the potential to disrupt the status quo. They can change the current ways of thinking and acting and living, rearrange the value systems, and produce new products and services, and create new production models, business models. But today, I would like to highlight only 3 major technologies that may be appropriate for women. They are mobile internet, Internet of Things, and 3D printing. Smartphones and tablets are primary examples of mobile internet devices. They've become very essential elements of our daily routines. We use these mobile devices to not only make a phone call, but also to get connected with the world and to interact with people all over the world and to put an order globally. Anyway, they have made mobile internet revolution, and it is expected that these mobile internet devices will get integrated with our daily lives in more aspects with more strength. So we can say there is unprecedented business opportunity surrounding these mobile internet devices. Particularly, apps are such an integral part of this mobile internet. So thinking about the development of better and appropriate apps might present a tremendous business potential. Now, let me share one very wonderful mobile app that was created by a Korean young lady.
Some people believe that there are a few people at the top of the fashion food chain who sort of dictate to us what we're all going to wear. But if you talk to any designer at any level, including these high-end designers, they always say their main inspiration comes from the street, where people like you and me remix and match our own fashion looks, and that's where they really get a lot of their creative inspiration.
Magazines are interesting, but it's so much more interesting to see what your friends are wearing. If I have the style share, I have all the size of my friend in my smartphone. an application like StyleShare is going to make fashion more democratic and coming back to us instead of just a few special people.
How wonderful. I have only 3 minutes left, unfortunately. Fashion is a universal code, right? So this mobile app has attracted a lot of attention from so many people all over the world. In this platform, everybody can be a fashion designer or fashion model. They can share their ideas about fashion, and they can get feedback about their dresses and hats and pants, and they can ask questions about, like, where did you get the pants and how much is it? So people are connected with each other surrounding the theme of fashion, and this mobile phone makes it possible. And this is #1 fashion media platform. She's a young lady in her mid-20s. She started this business when she was a senior in her college in 2010. Currently, there are about over 1.7 million users. On average, there are 150,000 users per day. 25 billion investment were achieved for this mobile app. And let me skip the remaining parts. I think I have to skip this part. And these are examples of very well-implemented mobile apps in Korea. Second, disruptive technology is Internet of Things. Let's watch this video clip. You can get a clear sense of what IoT is and what commercial items are already available and what is needed to make it happen.
Focused on connecting people to data to things. And in the process, we saw the number of devices skyrocketing from 1 million PCs in the early 90s to 1 billion laptops in late 90s to 12 billion smartphones, tablets, and PCs in 2010.
Today, less than 1% of things in the physical world are connected.
만일 나머지 99%가 모두 연결된다면 우리 세상은 또 얼마나 변할까요?
So I think you're going to hear data about 40, 50 billion devices potentially hooked to the internet. I don't know how big it'll be, but it'll be very, very large.
인간이 개입하지 않고 이루어지는 사물들 간의 커뮤니케이션. 앞으로 인터넷은 사람과 사람뿐만 아니라 사물과 사물, 즉 세상의 모든 것들이 연결되는 겁니다. 이 연결을 가능케 하는 기술과 그것으로 만들어진 세상. 우리는 이것을 사물 인터넷이라고 부릅니다.
You now have the opportunity to put those sensors in various places to gather data. And that an Airbus plane, some of the 380s being tested, have 100,000 sensors on them. Really looking at every moving part on that plane, constantly gathering data on the effectivity of all those moving parts of the plane. That now we'll have an opportunity for it to be gathered, to be analyzed, and give people an opportunity to make more decisions.
우리가 신는 운동화가 운동량을 체크해 건강을 관리해주는가 하면 골프 장갑에 달린 센서는 스윙을 교정해주는 코치 역할도 합니다. 또 포크는 움직이는 각도와 속도 정보를 분석해 비만 관리를 해주기도 합니다. 세상의 변화를 이끄는 사물 인터넷. 우리의 창조적인 상상을 기다리고 있습니다.
So in this video clip, we saw several examples of using IoT's smart shoes that measures the amount of exercise, smart swing coach that adjusts the swing gesture, and smart fork that measures the weight gain. And another example could be like smart band for kids. This item was designed to prevent children from going missing. So children can wear this smart band, and the information on where they are can be sent to their parents. Okay, how smart this is. The third technology that I intended to share with you was 3D printing, the third industrial revolution. It is said that 3D printing will create the third industrial revolution.
부인 자넷이 플라스틱 물병을 쉽게 열 수 있게 해주는 도구다. 그녀는 몇 년 전 물병조차 열 수 없을 정도로 오른팔의 감각을 잃었다.
So I would come home, and we'd be here alone. My husband would be at work, and I would go to get a bottle of water, and I had a struggle trying to open it up.
아내의 불편함을 해결하기 위해 남편이 선택한 방법은 3D 프린팅을 이용하는 것이었다. 그는 무료로 제공되는 3D 설계 프로그램을 이용해 원하는 물건을 디자인할 수 있었다.
You can see now I've taken the cap out of the actual design. So I have my original design, and then this is the cap design that was used to validate whether this would work properly or not, to the best of my ability.
스케트로시 부부는 최근 자신들이 디자인한 이 병따개를 3D 프린터로 만들어 판매하고 있다. 지금은 약병을 쉽게 열 수 있게 하는 새로운 제품도 개발 중이다.
This would normally be done on an injection mold. Having an injection mold done is incredibly expensive. And then the volumes would be enormous. They would be 100,000, 50,000 at a time. What do I do? Where do I store those? Whereas this is the only way this product could be built.
스케트로시가 제품을 대량 생산하지 않고도 판매할 수 있었던 것은 3D 프린팅 출력 서비스가 발달한 덕분이다. 쉐이프웨이즈라는 이 서비스는 디자인 파일을 받아 상품을 대신해서 만들어주는 서비스다. 3D 프린터를 갖고 있지 않아도 누구나 자신만의 물건을 만들 수 있고 팔 수 있는 길이 열린 것이다.
How wonderful 3D printer is. The 3D printer can print objects in much the same way that the inkjet printer or laser printer prints letters, words, and sentences on paper. Okay, so it has attracted a lot of attention from people, and nowadays, because of this 3D printing, mass production is not a norm anymore. Everybody who has a great idea can design and produce items on their own. Their house can be their factories. This is the final part of my presentation. I'm going to make it very shortly to help women willing to become entrepreneurs. There should be some supporting system. First of all, support from organization. Second, support from regional center or government, or support from partnering with regional accelerator programs. AP Wing has been serving as the support organization for women entrepreneurs, particularly using ICTs. Nowadays, smart technologies. We have been engaging in 3 major activities: international cooperation, research and development, and human capacity building. This is what we have been doing so far. This is just an example. Let me skip this part. Actually, we have been conducting very important projects to help women in 3 Latin American countries to become women entrepreneurs. And this project was implemented in collaboration with the Korean Ministry of Science, ICT, and Future Planning and UNDP. And it made huge impact on women in 3 Latin American countries. And they served as a wonderful model for serving women entrepreneurs. Second, support may come from regional center or government. Recently, the Korean government established an online support system for anybody who is interested in starting up their own business. Actually, one of the common problems that people who want to start up their business is that they do not know what to do with their own idea. So they need some support, systematic support from somewhere. So greatly and thankfully, the Korean government established an online support system. So people who have a great idea and want to start up their business can log on to this website and upload their business idea and can get feedback from somebody like an expert. They can be connected with mentors. So very smooth and effective support system is made possible. The last part is about support from partnering with Regional Accelerator Program. Because of the time constraint, let me skip this part, but fortunately, Ms. Terry Hum is going to make a presentation about this part in detail in session 3. Thank you very much.